right before we start making accusations with certain things like this. Nah, we gotta start doing things better. And know what? Another thing we need, especially if the situation involves a person of color. So what's up, guys? So talking about this Alice Sebold thing. So I guess she had a memoir put out, I think in 1999, somewhere in the late 90s. And in there's an accusation of the R word, of what she said was a unidentified black man did this assault on her, and he went to prison for it. He been acquitted. He was found innocent and cleared of the charges. So her publisher now has pulled the book off the shelves, pulled the memoir off the shelves. And you know what? That is the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do. And it sucks that this man, innocent, so many holes and different things in the case. There was no proof that he did any of this stuff, right? And yeah, he had to face the charges, all these things. And man, that is terrible. Terrible. Especially when it's a he say, she say, their word against your word. And especially when there's racial, like when there's some racial stuff about it, especially if someone is of color in it, especially when it's those type of cases and they side with the other person against a person of color. It is wrong. It is unjust. And I'm glad that this man was acquitted of that. And I'm glad that they pulled the book off the shelves, right? I'm glad that they pulled the book off the shelves. I don't know if she has apologized or made any statements or anything like that, but I would definitely put it out there and be like, know what? Shoot, I made a mistake. I really thought it was this person. Jury, all of them show otherwise, and know what? I apologize. I made the wrong mistake. I made this accusation on this person, and now what? Right? See, now that's what should happen. That is what she should do. Come out, acknowledge that she was wrong, acknowledge what she had done, and apologize, right? Apologize, because like I said, that this man had to go through all of that for all these years, 20-some years. Man, just imagine that. You getting falsely accused, and then 20 years later, you finally found innocent. They found some flaws. They're like, nah, there's no way that this... See, that is terrible. That is terrible. What can we learn from this? What can we learn from this situation? Because if you have followed my stuff, when I choose a topic, I want to expand on it, put some little inspiration, some motivation in it, instead of only just giving social commentary on the actual situation. I think before we make an accusation, before we accuse, before we go and say somebody's guilty, before we go and say it was this person and start pointing fingers, we got to make sure there's no doubt in our mind, no doubt in our hearts that they did this, that they were in the wrong, that they committed this crime, right? And it goes to the highest regard and the highest degree of the seriousness of this case to the lowest, right? To the lowest. Maybe you thought somebody did you wrong at the store, at work, at school, whatever it is. whatever the case is, we need to really evaluate. We need to really look, we're really going to have to start to dig down deep, take a step back, really look and evaluate the situation before we start making accusations. Right? Before we start making accusations with certain things like this. We gotta start doing things better. And know what? Another thing, we need, especially if the situation involves a person of color, we need to eliminate the thought that may pop into your head that has to be them. Why? Because in your mind or whatever, associate whatever crime or whatever just happened to whatever person of color is in the proximity, right? So, with that being said, we need to really take a step back, really evaluate the situation, and really use our common sense and really evaluate and really just be level-headed and be smart about how we approach the situation. I've worked different jobs. I've had different managers. I've had some where automatically they're like, that person right there, that person is him, and then they don't do nothing. They're a normal person. Right? I go into a store and I know somebody's going to steal, but it's never, ever based on color. It's because I already kind of either seen them still at other stores, or I'm just looking and seeing their habits and stuff. And most of the time, it's people of my same color, the people of my same race, my same ethnicity, other Hispanic dudes, cholo dudes, gangsters, drug addicts, right? I already know, I see their tendency, they're looking around, they do their thing, but it has nothing to do with color. And I can be honest when I say this. Never once in my life have I ever saw someone of color and was like, yeah, they're going to do this, or yeah, they did that. I have a better sense of that. I have a better sense to know better. We're all human. We're all human. Race has nothing to do with anything. You could find anybody of any color, they could all do the same thing. It does not matter. And see, her assuming that just because this man of color was the one that did it and box him in the category, maybe, and if it was a man of color, she wrongfully convicted and accused this man of that. And that is wrong. That is wrong. Like I said, we got to be smarter about this. We got to step back and take a better look at these situations before we make any accusation. And if you made these mistakes before, don't beat yourself up. I ain't going to hate you. This world is pretty hateful as it is. I can't say nothing about anybody else, but know what? You could do better. You can make better choices, make better decisions, have better thoughts. And like I said, evaluate the situation, take a step back, and make smarter choices. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so much, more than you ever know. So, Crayon Rocket, our motto is be unique, be creative, be you. Why is this important? Because we were all created in the image of God. We were all perfectly and wonderfully made. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Share it, like it, subscribe. I would appreciate it. God bless.